Today we are finally in Rome. I've said to Trevor a few times, I'm kind of embarrassed that we've never been here before because it's such a major city, but finally we're checking it off our list.
This might be our most touristic video yet because we are in Rome and we're at a park called, hold on, I can't pronounce them. Giardino Degli Aranci.
I think it's also referred to as the Orange Garden, which is a little bit easier to say. Definitely an epic view from up here. I think that's the Vatican over there.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see way that way is the Vatican. And then we're gonna go, at least walk by this later. Right over there is the altar of Fatherland, I think. It's an interesting name, but you kind of have to walk around it to get to the part of the city we want to go to. Colosseum is kind of behind here, and we're gonna hit that up, I think, a little later. At least check out the outside.
So if you guys are wondering where this is, it's not far from the Colosseum, and it's got a really great view. That's why we came up.
And the reason it's called Orange Garden is because right now we're entirely surrounded by orange trees.
Today is going to be extra interesting because Rome is a really big city. It has like 4.3 million people. That's a lot, plus all these tourists. And we don't particularly like big crowds or lineups.
No, so we'll see how this day goes. One thing I find interesting already though is the amount of ruins that are here. So I just pictured like the Colosseum and the big kind of ticket items that you would expect, but just by walking around the streets you come across things kind of just like this.
We're not quite sure what this would have been, but it looks really interesting.
Yeah, this is how they seem to be. They kind of fenced them off. And I don't know, obviously this is old, but is this kind of a recent find? I'm not sure. Then over this way, like what is that?
In the lineup.
Okay, here we go. This is probably how the day is gonna go the whole time.
So that line actually wasn't that bad. It maybe took 10 minutes at the most, and we had pre-purchased our tickets.
Yeah, how much were the tickets?
So they were 18 euros, I believe, per person. It includes the Colosseum, the Roman Forum, and the Palatine.
So right now we are in the Roman Forum. So far this is pretty interesting. All the ruins sort of look like they're being restored. You can see the Colosseum back there. I don't think we're gonna go in there today, guys. The lines are just crazy long, but we will go around the outside of it and get you guys a better look.
So for centuries, the Forum was actually the center of Roman life here in the city. It was essentially the marketplace, but they also did things like held trials, did speeches, and elections.
It's also really big. I thought this would be like a small little site, but you could spend easily 3 to 4 hours in this place.
Definitely. It kind of blows my mind that like 2,000 years ago they were able to build structures like this.
How did they do that? Now for scale, I have nothing to compare this to, but that's got to be 8 stories high. I mean, that said, it makes you wonder how they built any of this and what all these ruins used to look like.
So this may sound really stupid, but like we're in the middle of the city. This is a huge area. How did this become ruins? Why are we not looking at buildings that have been restored 20 times over 2,000 years?
Yeah, especially that it was, you know, the main point in the city. Yeah. It does make you wonder, because usually they restore buildings, but this is clearly not restored and it's just left in ruins.
here is the famous Colosseum. We found it. I don't think it needs much of an introduction. You've probably seen Gladiator.
Yeah, exactly. And well, the lines are pretty big. They go right inside and wrap around. So we're not going inside today, but we'll just leave you with this. Complete change of scenery. It absolutely downpoured for the last 2 hours, so we hibernated in a coffee shop pretty much.
Yeah, now we're just going by some more random ruins,
yep,
as one does here, and we're about to come by the altar of the Fatherland.
That sounds important.
So as you can see, this building is a lot newer than the places that we've been to. It was actually started construction in 1885. It's called the Altar of the Fatherland. It was a monument for Victor Emmanuel, who was the first king of a unified Italy.
We're now standing in front of the Pantheon, and it's Rome's best preserved ancient building.
This is actually the third version of the Pantheon, but this exact one dates back to 120 AD. We were trying to decide if that's the oldest building we've ever seen.
It has to be the oldest building that we've ever seen. Anna's covering up because we think you have to have your shoulders covered.
So we'll see. First off, I've definitely seen some pictures of this place, but it's way more impressive in person than it is in anything you've ever seen before. It's unbelievable. The detailing, the marble, the columns, it's just wow. And then the oculus at the top, I always thought it was like pretty small. It's actually 7 meters wide. It's the only source of light in this whole place. And when it rains, the floor is actually slanted, and you can feel it when you're walking.
I felt like I was like stumbling around down here, but it turns out it's supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
Been the most impressive place yet. It was free to get inside.
Yeah, there was basically no lineup. We just walked in. We think you have to cover your shoulders, but not entirely sure, because some did, some didn't.
So now we are going to go to the Trevi since we got in there. And if you don't know what the Trevi is, it's a fountain.
Everybody else in the entire city.
Well, I can say this, it's absolutely beautiful, but there's just way too many people here, like way too many. Okay, that all said, we are gonna do our best to show this place off for you. Cue the B-roll. Wraps up Rome. It has been a blast. If you are new around here, I am Trevor and this is Anna. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can follow our adventures. Hit the little bell to get notified when we put out more videos in general.
And if you haven't watched our last video, we were in Bologna eating the best food ever. It was so good. And next up, we're gonna be in Athens.
Guys, we are going to Athens, Greece.
All right, guys, that's it.
From Rome, wishing you delightful travels. Guys, we completely forgot to say we're in Greece for a month and we're looking for things to do, so like let us know down below what we should be doing.
And we have this awesome apartment in Athens all to ourselves. We're so excited.
Amazing.
Hey guys!
Who the hell are they?
Is that the Endless Adventure?
Who?